Hi all, I have another very interesting game. This time Leela ID 508 is playing black, and it's against actually Stockfish 6 this time, so slightly low version of Stockfish. So Leela has the GTX 1060 graphics card. Stockfish 6 has 2.8 GHz full CPU setup. So E4 from Stockfish 6, we have E5, we go into the Ruy Lopez, and in fact we have the exchange variation, bishop takes C6 here, D takes. This is the end of the book given to both engines to explore this position. White castles, and Leela plays actually quite a rare move in Chess-Based Live book, but it's very interesting. Queen F6, it does the job of supporting the pawn, but with benefits, potentially getting things out of the way to castle queenside. And one of my favourite over the board games the entire year so far has been that Kramnik game with the early G5 against the kind of exchange Ruy Lopez. So this is fascinating stuff if black can whip up some sort of attack from here. We see H3, bishop E6, so getting out of the way for castling queenside. Very sensible play. D3. Now black shouldn't castle here because of course bishop G5 is skewering the queen and rook. So a bit of safety precaution needed here. We have the move H6, bishop E3. Black does castle queenside. Knight BD2, G5. Very, very aggressive stuff. Why not? It looks as though this G file can be peeled open. Rook E1. Actually, Leela is careful not to play G4 here in this particular position. Builds up instead, because actually Knight E7 gives the idea that maybe the knight can sink into F4, and it will be very difficult to kind of remove it from F4. We have A4, Knight G6, Queen B1, as though there's an intent of B4, B5. There was a quick win Fischer game from the white perspective, where Fischer broke up black's queen side in the Ruy Lopez exchange. It's a video annotated on this channel if you want to compare and contrast to this game. But Leela is a bit cautious. She does play in a prophylaxis manner against the kind of pawn breaks like B4, B5. She plays C5 to stop B4, the whole intent. Locking down also the D4 square a bit more. We have now B3. It's pretty meek play from white. Rook G8, Queen B2, Bishop D6. We have Knight H2, trying to lock down on the light squares here. H5, as though, yeah, G4 is going to be arriving soon. Knight C4. Now, actually, with Knight C4, the knight's away from the king here, and Leela wants to actually keep, it seems, her rooks on the first rank and plays Bishop E7. It might have been viable, to just carry on with G4 here. For example, this position, it's an inconvenience having the rook on D6, though, and maybe this kind of thing is minimizing the damage. Black still has an edge here, but maybe it's a bit more closed than the attacking player would like, or an attacking player would like. So Bishop E7, the knight is kind of away from the king, so it's kind of done its job in provoking that, the knight being there. And we see the move F3. And now Queen G7. This can be handy in some lines for the queen to be protected by the rook, because you can see that Knight F4 sometimes taking, and if taking there, the queen would be hanging. Well, no, actually it's protected by the bishop anyway. But sometimes it is useful to have it even more protected here. But also G4 is going to be useful for this G-file attack. We have the move Bishop D2, Knight F4. So this is just very, very pleasant. So G4 doesn't have to be played immediately. This build up with Knight F4 first. Very logical maneuvering. Knight E3, trying to at least put the brakes on the light squares, which is quite often what the defensive player tries to do. Rook H8. We have Rook F1. Rook DG8, protecting the queen again. Rook AB1. And now the time does seem ripe, but you might be a little bit cautious to play this, but it does seem as though it's got a lot of things going for it. G4. One has to be aware of the tactics here, though, after f takes g4, because look at this queen facing this queen. There's a potential for rook f4. The queen is protected on g8, which is worth mentioning here now. But Leela's next move not only discourages or makes impossible rook takes f4, but it also creates even more pressure on the white king here. Can you guess what Leela plays here if I give you 5 seconds to pause the video? Okay. Bang. Knight takes h3 check. It clears away these pawns around the king, and it makes possible for nasty pins to emerge now. It was actually possible to play a takes g4. This rook takes f4 here is still a good position for black. But of course some of the attacking potential has been taken out with the exchange of queens. So it's nice to avoid the exchange of queens as well. So it does two things, you know, avoiding the exchange of queens, and it's just a totally relentless pressure now on white's king with even less pawns around the king to protect himself. Rook f5 is played. If we look at this position with, say, knight h takes g4, this is very, very nasty. You can see that the absence of the g pawn means the pieces are all loose. This is a nasty pin. Things are falling to bits here. The same, of course, the same story, of course, doesn't matter which way the knights. This is going to be strong. For example, just to give you an example continuation, this is just crushing. It's all pretty crushing stuff. And on h takes g4, you might think, what about h takes g4? Sorry, here. This position, what would you play with black? I'll show you what a good line. Rook takes h2, and just is a total wipeout after bishop takes g4. There's no king safety here. All the pawns stripped away, and actually black can simply coordinate pieces like this, threatening queen h1 checkmate. And this is absolutely devastating. So it's just devastating position. It's just murderous attack, basically. So yeah, this rook f5 is probably the best of bad choices in the circumstance. Queen h7 is played. We have queen c1. Queen takes h3. It's pretty nasty stuff now. It looks as though this is absolutely busted for white. So g takes h2, rook takes g2, and in fact bishop g4, which is reminiscent of the previous game I've uploaded to the channel, with this diagonal being lethal now for bishop f3. So queen f1, bishop f3, rook e1, rook g8, just piling on the pressure. Rook e2, the game ended here. Of course it's much better, absolutely winning for black. The most incisive move, if you want the most incisive continuation, would be bishop h4, it seems, which would stop any rook f2. And that means that here, say some token move, queen g4 threatens bishop takes rook, as well as keeping the pressure on g2. So, for example, just taking the rook, ouch, or the rook moves, then ouch, bishop takes g2. So white's in a world of pain here in this final position. But bishop h4 would be the most incisive way to carry on. So yeah, Leela does know, it seems, she probably hasn't looked at the Kramnik game because it's self-learning. She hasn't looked at the Kramnik game earlier this year, where Kramnik played in a similarly sort of direct manner with a g5 based attack. And but it comes naturally to Leela, and that's why these games shouldn't be taken for granted. It's natural, direct, logical attacking chess, and it's all self-learned. So amazing stuff. So this is also now one of my favourite games of the year, as well as the Kramnik game. I hope it is for you as well. Comments, questions, likes, shares appreciated. Thanks so much.